Are you stuck? What about unhappy? Join Alena Chapman, author, mentor, and life coach for 30-minute moments as she challenges you to get out of the doldrum and start living your life to the fullest. It's time to celebrate that life with 30-minute moments.
You are listening to 30-Minute Moments, and I'm Alena Chapman, your host. And you know something? I'll tell you what. Every day of your life, you should see something beautiful. You should feel something beautiful. Why? Because you are beautiful, guys and gals. You are all beautiful. So, you know, when you're driving in your car, look up at the sky. It's one of the greatest gifts we have. It changes every day. Look at the beauty. Smile at people. Just smile when you're going through one of the drive-thrus, or even a fun experiment is when you stop at the stoplight and you smile at the car next to you. You know what? They appreciate it. They do. They smile too. So open your heart. Start seeing the beauty in things. And I'll tell you what, it will change your whole day. That's my little helpful hint for today. I felt like doing that. And I want to introduce you to our guest, Wendy Darling. I have known her now for about 1.5 years. This woman is such a sweetheart. She's just really smart, and she's clever, and she is just a nice person. She's founder of the Miraculous Living Institute. It's a personal and professional growth organization offering presentations, seminars, retreats, and private coaching. She's recognized as an expert on navigating change and achieving your desired results. Well, who wouldn't want that? Her transformational system, the Miraculous Living Method, TM, provides the vehicle for achieving those results with greater ease and speed. That's what we do. We give you more ease and speed on this show. She's had 37 years of experience as a business and life transformation expert. Also, surprise, surprise, relationship. We're going to talk about that today. And she has a way of presenting things in a simple way so that you can grab hold of it and really bring it into your life. So with that, I'm bringing on Wendy Darling. Hello, Wendy.
Hello, Alena.
I am so happy to have you on today.
Thanks. Great to be here.
It really is. It is great to have you on. Hey, let's talk relationships, shall we?
Okay.
Okay, because relationships, they used to have this song, Money Makes the World Go Around. No. It's relationships make the world go round. Don't you agree?
I do agree.
Yeah, because it's the relationships we have relationships everywhere. Absolutely everywhere.
Well, I think everything has to do with relationships. Everything. When we really break all aspects of our life down, I have what I call the Wheel of Life, which identifies 10 significant categories that begin with the relationship that you have with yourself, the relationship that you have with your body, with your significant other, your finances, your career. I can keep going on. And the reason I call it the Wheel of Life is when you take a closer look, and let's say, for example, a real common one, well, there are a couple really common ones, but let's say you haven't been taking as good a care of your body. Well, that affects how the wheel turns, and it impacts all the other categories. So,
it does.
Anybody that knows me knows I am a complete relationship person.
That's a good thing. And I have a question. With the age of technology, as it's coming in, and I don't know, everywhere I go, I went to dinner with my kids last night, and we were sitting in the restaurant, and I looked over at the table, and every member of that table was on some kind of Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, whatever it was, but they were on their phones. Every single one. Now, I would love to say maybe, because we will do that sometimes, we'll say, because we ask, my kids and I, we have this game where we ask a lot of questions. So then somebody will look up on the internet and we share it, but we're doing it as an activity as a family. But when you're all separate, what does that do to our relationships with our family, with our coworkers, with our significant others? What is that doing with us?
Yeah, well, it's doing a variety of things. First of all, it's become a very safe but yet disconnected way of connecting. It's real easy for me to text you, whatever, but it also risks you misinterpreting what I'm saying or not saying. And even though technology, this is the good news and the bad news about technology. There are days where I'm like, oh my gosh, what did we do before technology? And I have good answers for that, and I have some not so much.
Me too.
Because, so connecting person to person is at risk of becoming a lost art. And it personally concerns me because there's also an addictive type of quality that can result, like you're saying, that people
very.
Are just on their phones and not relating.
Very.
I just saw a YouTube segment just last night. It was so cute. And these little kids were at, I think, like a coffee shop, and they were asked to go up to people. And the whole point of it was, I think everybody should be friends with everybody.
I saw that.
And those kids went up to total strangers and started talking with them, and how that made a difference. It was a really great segment.
It is.
And there's a lot of truth to that. I can remember, now it's been years ago, when I was attempting to come out of my shell a little bit more.
Were you shy?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I consider myself a situational extrovert. So I am now very comfortable.
I love that.
When we know each other.
Yes.
I love people, and I love finding out what's going on in your life, what's happening, or what's bothering you, and just I love that connection. But then I have to have my quiet time. So
me too.
So I'm really a natural introvert. But when I was attempting to come out of my shell more, and by the way, I remember somebody in high school saying, oh my gosh, I thought you were a snob. And I said, no, I'm just shy, but I happen to have good posture. And
well, people are funny with shy people. Yeah.
One of the things that I did that I still do, even today, because there's still a tendency, like if I'm going to the grocery store, I just want my space. I will intentionally look at people and smile.
I do that too.
And what I remember when I first started doing that, how many people weren't looking at other people.
Right.
And I'm like, my gosh, everybody's living in their own little world.
Oh, it's like they have a bubble around them. You walk through it's true. I walked through the grocery store last night, and I always smile at people. I just do. I always have since I was a kid, and I've always felt that connection. So I always smile, and I can't tell you how many people just walk on by. That's a song, by the way, Walk On By. And it was just totally in a bubble. They're in a bubble. They don't even see you. You do not exist.
Yeah.
But look how much they're missing.
And I think it gets back to what you're talking about, that something has happened in our society that I think to some extent has gotten worse. And I think to some extent there are more people like us who are really craving that connection.
Yes.
And there are a lot of people that are shy just to do what we just talked about. And I promise you, if you just walk around smiling and saying hi to people, it makes a difference in their lives. You've just opened up the possibility that they're now going to start doing that with others.
Exactly.
Because the truth is, we all are hardwired for connection. We are hardwired for relationships and love. None of us were intended to be at top of mountains and, do our little meditation for life. No.
That's a part of our life, not all of it. That's our renewal.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't have to go to the top of the mountain.
No, you can do it in your bedroom too, but you need that time alone for renewal. But we are meant for connection. I think what it's hurting is the deep relationships. And the deep relationships, I mean, everyone can open up and smile. You know, when you go through a coffee thing, a drive-through, and you talk and everything, you're making connection, you're brightening someone's day. Or when you see people in the grocery store. But it's the deep connections, and I see some of the younger people. It's the commitment of a relationship, not just in marriage, but a commitment in even with your parents or with friends, or it's that's starting to get fragmented.
Yeah, I think, we live in kind of a disposable period of time, or potentially so. And what I've learned, because I've worked with a lot of people now,
me too.
both in the corporate world, but also in my private practice.
Yes.
And I help people heal the wounds of their heart, because a lot of times somebody, for example, I tend to work with a fair amount of singles who actually want to attract love into their life.
Oh, we're going to talk about that.
They don't know
Yeah.
why that's not happening. And I have a system that unravels that. And ultimately, it's always, old hurts that we, our mind and our emotions and our body are hardwired to keep us safe and protected.
Right.
And when you've had a hurt, your mind
no more.
does. Yeah, that's right. And what's even more significant, that, thank goodness we know this now, is even though, let's say, the example we're using, you want to attract love in your life, but it's not happening, or you're not meeting the quality of person that you would want to become involved with, or you're saying, how come I keep attracting the same kind of whatever?
I'm sure people are saying that.
Yeah, because it's estimated we have 70,000 thoughts a day. That's a lot of talking inside of us.
That's a lot of talking.
The majority of those thoughts are the same ones you had yesterday, and the majority of those thoughts are actually in your subconscious programming, which means you're not even aware that conversation is going on.
We will be right back, folks. You are listening to 30-Minute Moments, and I'm Alena Chapman, and we're talking to Wendy Darling.
You're listening to 30-Minute Moments with Alena Chapman, helping you discover your true purpose on WOWO and at WOWO.com.
Welcome back to 30-Minute Moments, and I am your host, Alena Chapman. We are here with Wendy Darling, and I am going to start getting into the juicy stuff here. If we are looking for those deep, wonderful love of our life people, what do they call them? Our soulmates, our candle something, all those wonderful people. And yet we're ending up with something that's not even close. What are we doing?
This is the part of what I do that I'm very grateful that I can provide.
Cool.
Because my system takes all the guesswork out. So if I don't care what category you're talking about, but we're talking about attracting love.
Love.
Something within you is blocking that from happening, because I believe in every fiber of my being that if you have a desire in your heart, it is there because it's your truth.
Yes, and I believe that too.
In my view of the world today, that's planted within us so that we learn and we grow and we evolve and we contribute. And I believe having a healthy, happy, nourishing relationship is so key and critical. And when people do not have that, I think eventually it impacts all the other areas of your life.
Oh, it does.
And the reason I love assisting people to attract love is when you're nourished and supported, you get to have even greater impact in the world. And that's what I really want you to be doing, whatever that might be. And so in answer more specifically to your question, it's not a simple answer, but it's a simple solution.
Yes.
To find what that heartache might be or that blind spot, because it's important to wake up the desire. So a couple simple things people can do is really look more closely at what you do want. And you might do that by looking at what you don't ever want to happen again.
True. That's a good place to start. The contrast.
Look at what your core values are, and then there's a whole lot more that can be done that can open your heart to truly connecting with the person who I believe is intended for you. I happen to be a spiritual person, and I believe that, and I hope I'm not offending anybody's religious beliefs, but for my belief system, I use the word God, and I believe God puts that in our hearts and truly wants you to be living this beautiful life.
Don't you find that sometimes these blocks, we always look for, when we say we have a block, everybody goes to these traumatic things that may or may not be it. Sometimes they are the problem, but very often it can be sometimes the littlest thing that triggered us to shut off. The littlest thing. It could be a boy who stuck a snake down our back or something. Or it could be, you know what I mean, when you were little. It could be something so little that we just close up and we say, we're never going to let that happen again. And
or something happens that we completely misinterpret.
Yes.
And we create a story based on our interpretation.
We're good at stories. Yes.
Yeah. And what I love is I'm able to take all that guesswork out.
That's
because
cool.
The other thing that is not good is a lot of people sit back and go, what am I doing wrong? And so you keep reinforcing, I'm looking for something wrong and something to fix.
The negative.
Which reinforces the internal dynamic.
Instead of saying, what can I do right? It's a simple perception. Yeah, or what can I do better? Or what can I look for better? You know, opening it up. Yeah, because if you focus on the negative, you'll get more negative. That's not even, I know that's the law of attraction, and it is, and that's true, but it's also common sense, folks. Most of the things are common sense. What you focus on is what you will get, because that's what you're focused on. Simple as that. But this love, so if someone... And also, they have to open their hearts, don't you think? You have to connect.
Yes. And that's why even just starting to do something simple as if you're at the mall or a grocery store or at the gym, to start opening up just to connect with people and start feeling safer in your life. And it just opens you up. Now, there's a whole lot of other things that can be done, but you need to look at, have you closed yourself off, and in what ways? We all love our little comfort areas.
Yes, we do.
And so that's why it's really lovely, if this is important to you, to reach out to get support in some way, to help you navigate through this so that you can get the results that you want.
And join some groups. Try to step out. Across the nation, there are meetup groups. All over, and they are not dating sites, guys, but they are people meeting for like-minded. If you like photography, then venture into that. Make the friends, and you never know. A friend of a friend might show, or you just don't know. But if you hide in your own little corner, in your own little chair, and that's your world, well, that's a very closed world. You have to get out, and 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 Wendy was also right on target when she was talking about what do you want. And yes, we love whatever, the blue eyes, but does it really matter? Does it really matter? What are the core things? What are the things that you truly deeply believe? Most arguments, they say it's about money, but really it's about core beliefs about money, about children, they say children's are a big reason why people fight, but it really is the core values behind that cause the fights. So what are your core values? What do you want in another person that would help you grow in your core values and them grow in their core values? Yeah. Right?
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think that's why it's really important to look at, your definite top 5, definite 10 real core values, because that too will be able to allow you to discern when you meet people and see quality of people that you are meeting and attracting into your life. If you're attracting and being surrounded by the quality of people, you're doing great. If there's a gap between where you are and where you want to be, that's your opportunity to really dive in deeper. And the good news is there are easy, simple gentle ways to do that.
Gentle. I love that.
Well, no, that's really the important piece.
Yeah, it is.
Because for somebody to change and to open up and transform, a safe environment has to be created.
We will be right back. This is 30-Minute Moments, and this is such a wonderful conversation with Wendy Darling. We will be right back.
This is 30-Minute Moments with Alena Chapman, helping you find your inner self every Sunday on WOWO and at WOWO.com.
This is 30-Minute Moments, and I'm Alena Chapman, and we're here with Wendy Darling, and it is the shift. Wendy, I am here with you talking about your aha moment and your pivotal moment, because these are the things that give us direction in our lives if we really allow them. Don't you agree? We have to allow it.
I agree.
Yeah. So what's your story?
Well, it's now been a number of years ago. It was actually, I think, in 1990. I was married. My son was only 3-ish at the time, approaching 4.
Oh, I love that age.
I was already doing my management and organizational development consulting, traveling all over. I was a workaholic kind of girl back then. Okay. I loved what I did. I was very, very sick, but I had a lot of people waiting for me in L.A. For a presentation I was giving. So I was living in Texas at the time, and I was at the Dallas airport, sick as a dog, went outside to get some fresh air before my flight, and I passed out. I fell over a ledge, and I fell over 25 feet.
Oh, my gosh. You're kidding.
No, I'm not kidding. So I shattered my right leg. I had multiple surgeries. I didn't know for about 11 months if I would ever walk again, which I do. I had some fractures in my back. And then I was also later diagnosed with a traumatic brain injury that was undiagnosed for quite a while, and it took a very long time to recover from. And I still have some challenges, but I know how to work with that.
Yeah.
So if that was not enough, around week 4 of being in the hospital, my former husband came, suitcases packed, saying he no longer wished to be married. And even though I take full responsibility for my portion of that, the timing was really...
The timing was horrid.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
That is...
And if that was not enough, when we went to court, my former husband happens to be an attorney.
Oh, so
and
is mine.
He was awarded full custody of our son, who was only 4.5 at the time.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Life.
So I was living in what I call whiteboard territory, meaning anything that was previously associated with my identity, my physicality, my marriage as a mom, my career.
Your health.
Everything was wiped out.
It was stripped away.
Yeah, and to really cliff note my experience, it was a very long recovery. And it shifted the way I looked at life and the way I live. Now, I'm going to be perfectly honest. During my recovery, I began to receive my transformational gifts and processes that I use with my clients today. I didn't go to school for this. I didn't understand how this was happening, even why it happened. It could have been the brain injury. I'll never really know. But the gift of that, first of all, shifted my priority to how I live my life. And I have a philosophy called live, love, and lead. Know what matters to you most first. That's the lived part. Love. Make sure you have people in your life that love you and support you and champion you. And then from that place, when you're filled up, then you really lead your life from a very different perspective.
You do. And you, everything, your goals, everything. When you fill yourself up with these things, then there's a groundness, a security, and a purpose. Everything I do, my kids, my boys, my family, is at the heart of it. Do you see? And it gives me And if you don't have a family or kids, that doesn't mean you don't have people who are really close to you. Families are all shapes and sizes. They don't have to be, your born relatives. They are families. And those people form your family. When you have that kind of behind you, that security, that feeling, that I call it earthliness, then everything in your life has a meaning. Everything you do. I love that, Wendy. I love that.
And what I'm grateful for, way back then, my prayer at that time was, oh my gosh, please help me dig out of this hole. And if you do, I promise to pay it forward. And I even remember in my cynical little way, I said, by the way, if you could just help me find an easier, faster way to just make this a little bit easier.
I think we all would.
And, the truth of the matter is, I'm blessed that my wish got granted, because what I love I can provide today for people is to get you positioned differently so that you aren't being held back. And I love that my system, you don't have to figure anything out. I take all the guesswork out. We can find it, shift it. You don't have to worry about it. So I've worked with people that have gone through trauma and abuse, but I've also worked with people that just want to increase their revenue. But I think one of my favorites is assisting singles to attract love. And I know we're not supposed to have favorite children, but I think, that brings me such joy.
You have a book out right now, The Miracle That Is Your Life, correct?
That would be correct.
Oh, now how can people learn more about you and the book? Because this sounds like a fantastic book. I love this. How can we get hold of you?
Very easily. First of all, my website is wendydarling.com, just as it sounds. My email is wendy@wendydarling.com. And if you have any questions or interests, just reach out to me.
And folks, one thing, when I was going through in Google looking up Wendy Darling, you always come up with Peter Pan's Wendy Darling. So just keep scrolling down, please, okay? And then you have a very famous cartoon with you. And so just keep going down and you will find her. She is there, definitely, because I looked. This is 30-Minute Moments, and I'm Alena Chapman. If you want to learn more about me, you can go to alenachapmanlife.com. Actually, I would love it if you did, because I have a new website, guys. I would love for you to take a look and give me your comments. And I wasn't kidding about the beginning of the show. If you guys are interested in me having this once a month, wonderful questions that I answer from you, send them on in. Let us know. And I will have a show once a month just for answering questions. Wendy, thank you so much. And thank you, everyone. Have a fantastic week of betterment and ease.
This has been 30-Minute Moments featuring Alena Chapman. If you missed an episode, download it now at wowo.com.
Podcasts by Federated Media.